Good morning, this is a Shaman Oracle reading, and before I start, I like to quickly introduce the Moon and Stars Tarot, because I usually don't do the tarot, so let me quickly explain some things. In this card deck, swords, they are shooting stars, and they relate to mind, divisions, collisions, and strife. And the cups, they are supernova, relating to emotions, relationships, bonds, and clairvoyance. And the wands, they are relating to nebula, creativity, devotion, spirit, and action. And the pentacles, they are full moon and relate to finances, materialism, work, and home. And while the shooting stars, they are not really stars, but they are small pieces of rock or dust called meteor. These meteors, they can survive by burning up and then hitting the earth and then becoming a meteorite. So meteorites are the last stages of existence of space rocks. And not to confuse them with meteoroids. Meteoroids, they are lumps of rock or metal that orbit the sun. Supernova, relating to cups of this deck. Supernova is when a star burns through its fuel, begins to cool, and because outward forces of pressure drop, gravity suddenly takes over and the star collapses in just seconds. And this collapse produces the explosion we call supernova. Nebula, relating to the wands of this deck. A nebula is a giant cloud of dust and gas in space. When more than one nebula come from the gas and the dust thrown out by the explosion of a dying star, then it is called supernova. And the full moon, relating to the pentacles. A full moon is simply the moon moving in its orbit, so that our Earth is between the moon and the sun. And then when we look up in the sky, we see a full moon. And there is also a little bit more to say. The deck here explains why the cups represent supernova. It is because the emotions, the fuel, a large part, the fuel of the emotions, that is a large part of our life and can often cause outbursts similar to a supernova. And the swords, they are related to the shooting stars, because when we see a shooting star, we make a wish, and shooting stars fall in many different directions, showing decisions to be made. Mercury is associated with thinking and communicating, and also to the swords and shooting stars. The wands, they represent nebulas, which are beginnings of new stars, symbolizing new opportunities through creativity and passion. The planet Saturn stands for responsibility and ambition and is assigned to the wands. And lastly, the pentacles, they are related to the full moon with the pentagram in the middle. The full moon represents blessings and desires through personal hard work, and the planet Mars relates to it, bringing the needed motivation and aggression. So, that was a short run through this card deck, and now comes the reading for Taurus. Welcome, Taurus. Let me start right away with the first card from the Moon and Stars Tarot, and the card that came out for you is the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords relate to movement. And the keywords, they are baggage, recovery, and release. You may physically relocate or go traveling, but the change of scenery cannot resolve your mental anguish. You need to release any past fears and hardships and leave drama and arguments behind, as now is the time to find peace in a relationship. This card can symbolize time away from a partner or healing following a breakup. Within work, there may be exciting opportunities for you by traveling overseas. And the star message here is: make a positive move and do it for the right reasons. The Shaman's Dream Oracle card is first breath, relating to a fresh start and renewed curiosity, natural trust, and beginner's mind. When the first breath card shows up for you, it is time to leave the old stories and tales behind. You have finally arrived. Take a deep breath and take another one. There is nothing else you need to do but take in the new world that is revealing itself around you. So trust your natural curiosity. There is no need to dwell on how difficult the journey has been or how tight the passage to get to where you are now. Just take it all in and experience the awe and wonder of your arrival at this destination. Even if it is a familiar place you have come to many times before, try to experience it as if for the first time, for you are renewed and the old you is no longer your concern. Practice the beginner's mind, not labeling or naming what you see and experience. That situation that was so difficult only a few days ago, well, just be with it and breathe. You have already gone beyond it, have overcome and resolved it, even if no one else realizes this yet. Soon enough they will, as you move on. Do not squander the power of first breath, giving the old narrative mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Use it for new beginnings, to animate a world you can play and create in. Do not underestimate the power of your breath and the magic of the world. Last card is the Oracles of the Fairies, to bring some humor in here in the reading or in all readings. I think humor is needed as well. And this one here is nature's signs. Be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We need only open our hearts and our minds. The fairies, they love to leave hints and clues for us in nature. It is one of the many creative ways in which they initiate communication with us. For example, fairies often leave feathers or release floating dandelion seeds to let us know they are nearby. The appearance of a friendly bird, such as a robin, is another message from the fairies that they are close by. Fairies and other creatures often work together as they are all in harmony with the earth, whose wisdom can come in many forms. So just allow yourself to be receptive and use your intuition to decipher any signs that you see. You could leave your own sign for the fairies next time you are out in nature, letting them know you wish to connect with them. So you could leave a tiny wooden fairy door next to a tree as a sure sign to the fairies that you are fairy friendly by placing a figurine of a fairy or gnome in your garden or on your porch. If possible, sit next to a flowing stream and visualize your cares being resolved and any concerns flowing away. Alternatively, imagine your hopes and wishes flowing towards you, looking out for any significant signs from nature as you do so. The fairies, they will pick up on your intentions and help to manifest them. If you don't have access to a stream, it can be just as effective to visualize this process. And if you do not believe in any fairies, well, go out in nature anyway and enjoy birds and nature's beauty. Okay, do that, Taurus. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.